This is Pod Populi.
Podcast for the people.
Welcome to another episode of Until It's Done, a devoted podcast. I'm your host, Dana Lynn Kay, and today I'm back in the studio with my amazing sidekick, Kelley. Hi,
Right
Kelley.
here. Hi.
We're gonna talk today. I'm gonna dive into this topic because it's something that goes through my head all the time. Obviously, you know, I started Devotion Nutrition because I wanted a way that I could stay devoted to my healthy lifestyle, to my goals for the rest of my life. Not just, I want to lose 15 pounds for a vacation.
Right.
Not, I want to get, fit into my wedding dress. Like all people have these like different reasons why they
All
kind
the
of like,
yo-yo reasons.
right.
Yeah.
Where they kind of like, I remember, I grew up with a mom who was working out since I couldn't remember. I mean, my mom was into Jane Fonda and then went into all this stuff. And I remember I wanted to understand the lifestyle of somebody that got fit, stayed fit, made it part of their life. I mean,
That loves food.
That loves food,
Yes.
right? I was
Yeah.
I was a foodie. I was like, and I still am. I love food, but I also loved the look of somebody who was fit, and I also loved the energy that fit brought. Like with the Jane Fonda, like all that in the 80s. I remember like a lot of energy, a lot of and I was like, if you're fit and you hold like a healthy body weight, you seem to be able to move well, you seem to be able to enjoy life and do all the things and jump around. And so that was very attractive to me. I wanted that energy. My mom was always petite and she always held her weight very well. And she had a lot of energy. I mean, she was mowing the lawn, she's doing all the things. And so me being a person who struggled with my weight, the more that I gained, the more lethargic I felt.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, can you remember times in your life when you've held weight and you're just like, why is this I'm holding weight and I'm actually more tired and I'm less energetic?
Exactly.
Right?
Well, because it affects your mindset. It affects your mental health
And your
too.
body just kind of feels weighed down. Like everything feels, I remember because I remember being pregnant and yes, I'm pregnant, but meanwhile I'm holding a lot of weight, walking up the stairs. Like I remember thinking, how do people who are morbidly obese, I'm like, oh my God, this is just temporary for me. But geez, if I had to really carry this much extra weight or a belly, walking up the stairs, everything seems like an effort.
Yeah.
And so to me, finding a way to enjoy my food, because I wanted, and also being able to stay as close to my ideal body weight and my goals for the rest of my life.
Yeah.
And not just for an event or whatever, was very attractive sounding to me.
Yeah.
I was like, I really want, that was the whole mission behind Devotion. Yeah. And so I remember thinking okay, the word devotion, staying devoted, and what kept me coming back to that, doing the things that I knew were going to get me to where I wanted to be. That's devotion.
Yeah.
So, on social media, a lot of times we get questions like, can I use devotion if I'm keto? Can I use devotion? And the idea behind devotion was that it fits into every lifestyle.
Exactly.
I remember when I was coming up with the idea for devotion, I still have the picture of this. I had this giant poster board thing with the lines on it, the yellow lines on it. And I was writing who's devoted, who is this brand for? And I would be the fit mom, the dad, the person who does yoga, the runner, anybody who just and does it fit into most lifestyles? I would say yes.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah, absolutely.
And so, I mean, how you got it, you started it, how did you start it into your lifestyle?
I started because I had competed in my early 30s, and then I'd taken 13 years off, and I wanted, and of course at that point, the protein powder I used, had already gone under, was no longer available. So I was looking for something that could bake.
Yeah.
And that's how I found you on Instagram. So
because you were more interested,
competing.
Were you ever a shake girl, or you were I want to eat my
Not
food?
really.
Yeah.
I did shakes when I was, when I competed in my early 30s because I had a trucking company, so I was on the road a lot. So I had a shake that mixed with water that tasted like
sawdust.
No, that's
that's what most of them remind me.
Quick. It was like chocolate.
Oh, okay,
quick.
yeah.
So I had a funnel and I just stick it in my water and just shake it up while I was on the road. So that worked. But I'm not a shake girl. You know, I don't like that. It's kind of like a last resort. I never liked the ready to drink or any of that kind of stuff. I like to eat.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
And not to mention that I was kind of I don't know, I want to say tricked into it, but I was dating somebody who was having a midlife crisis, I guess, and he wanted to conveniently, like, okay, come on. I was like, oh, fine, whatever.
Right.
I'm like, I'm 48.
Yeah.
I don't want to do this.
Yeah.
Okay. But I did it, and thank goodness, I found you, and then started creating recipes and stuff. But the way that I use the products has not changed. Only my lifestyle has changed, but using devotion the same way has not changed. I mean, I still have Reese's Oats. I still make banana cake. I still have my absolute constant has been my coffee.
Oh, yeah. You're the latte girl.
I am a latte girl. I mean, I have like 2 or 3 a day.
Yeah.
But that's 30 grams of protein.
Yeah.
So, it's an absolute lifestyle. And those little bitty changes just in your lifestyle, like the swapping out devotion for your regular coffee creamer. What did we figure that out? One time we figured it out. It was like 25,000 calories a year. Yeah. Or something like that you save. Mm-hmm. I mean, that's huge.
Yep.
I don't even think about it. Can you imagine what I would weigh?
Oh,
because when you
think about what my body would even look like without all the devotion I've eaten. Like I've been able, because I'm not going to lie, like on some of my traveling, like I didn't, I'm not eating the amount of protein that I usually eat at home because I'm not baking like I would. I mean, in Dan's kitchen, whatever. And, so I would eat like a packet for breakfast, but then like we're on the go and like I'm eating things when we're traveling, but I was not eating the protein that I usually eat at home.
Exactly. That's hard to do. It's hard to do if you're traveling and you're trying to get that at restaurants or
to ask them for like, hey, can you double the protein? Can you? I mean, it was like, it got to be a little, and I noticed a change in my body in just a few weeks of traveling, like that I was like, wow, like I'm not, my protein intake is not what is at home, and I just feel differently.
Yeah. Well, I think it affects your energy level too. Yeah. Honestly, I really do.
And your satiety, I know with protein, I always feel more satiated.
Exactly. Yeah.
Kind of when we were traveling, I was very like munchy, like more, we're at home, like I can, at home, like I have a snack, but then it's something protein, forward. And so like it's hard. I kind of like, I take it for granted that I always have like a devotion loaf, or I have like something that I can grab for with protein. Yeah. Because obviously we weave in all the other protein too, but to keep up, I don't know what your goal is. Mine, I eat about 155 grams of protein a day.
Mine's a little less than that, but it used to be,
higher.
I used to be 150 to 175.
Yeah.
When I was competing.
So like getting that in, because even like I eat a lot of lean ground beef. Yeah. And you do too. Yeah, I do.
Turkey
beef.
Turkey meat, turkey taco meat is like my staple. It's that in my devotion.
But like I realized, like, okay, so if I have 5 ounces of lean ground beef, and then like last night I had that with jasmine rice, like that's a big bowl already. Yeah. Like and then I'm like, okay, how much of like beef and rice am I eating? And then, okay, well then at lunch, like I had like, some chicken and but it's like, okay, so I can do that a few times a day. Yeah. But like, other than that, like, okay, so that gets me to a certain amount, but like.
That's already, because if you're doing 5 ounces of beef, that's like 35 grams, and you've got your chicken breast, that's another probably 30.
But I'm trying to get up to like 155.
Yeah, exactly.
So like that's a lot. I need a lot more beef.
But if you're doing that 3 times, and that's almost that's like 95 grams right there. So then you have your 3, minimum 3 servings of devotion,
and then
then you're right there. It's perfect. You're at what, 155.
Yeah, so many nights. Yeah. That's exactly what it is. And many nights I top off. Like if I'm like really struggling and I'm like, oh, I haven't hit. Like maybe I didn't have all the beef, or maybe I didn't. Sometimes. I'll do double scoop of devotion, or I'll do something to be like, I need to maintain that protein, because now, I'm 44, you're into your 50s. Like we lose lean tissue. But like we've got to make sure we keep our protein
Absolutely.
up.
Well, you have to make sure. I mean, it's not just for muscle. A lot of people think that, but as you're aging, it helps with our bone density too. Mm-hmm. So it's very
skin,
important.
hair.
Oh my gosh, the comments on that freaking post.
Which one?
The one about the one where we said 120 grams.
Oh,
I mean, you have any idea how many? I mean, board certified nutritionists are in there?
Oh my God. So we did a video. We've been doing these like
have
beautiful
more than 20 grams.
And I said in my video, I eat a minimum of 120 grams of protein a day. And I said that minimum because really, like I just told you guys, it's definitely probably closer to 150, 160.
Absolutely.
So we did that and it went decently viral on like a bunch of platforms. Yeah. People were like losing their minds over the fact that I said I eat 120 grams of protein a day. I'm like,
there wasn't so much that how much was in because we
was in a serving.
It was in a serving because it was a yogurt bowl and it was and we didn't say that we did that every day. It was like this is a easy way to get half that.
Yeah.
At your breakfast meal. Now that breakfast meal could have gone over. I mean that could be something that you graze on from 9 to 10.
Split it in half.
You can split it in half if you want to.
And we're just showing you how to get in protein. Like, look, you don't have to. We're not giving you a diet plan. We're not your coach.
So many people, and that's the thing that irritates me too about that. And I'm, yes, it irritates me.
Yeah.
But that we'll see. Can I? Does this fit into a carnivore diet? Does this fit in? Okay, I'm not a carnivore. So I don't know. I don't do keto. I don't know. That's something that you need to talk about to your nutritionist. I would say that protein fits into any diet because you need it in order to sustain your health.
Exactly.
It doesn't matter if you're trying to look a certain kind of way or you're trying to whatever. You need protein in your diet. Period. So there's no reason why it wouldn't.
The other weird thing is that like when people ask us like, can I eat this in keto? I'm like, can you? Like Who's
telling you can't?
And first of all, who is guiding you on keto? You're throwing that keto term around that you're doing this plan, but like, do you truly know what keto is? Who is your coach? Why don't you ask them? And are you educated on this diet and like to the point that you don't even know what you're allowed to eat and what you're not? Like, look at the macros. I had tried keto in the past. I know you did too, and we both used it.
Well, and I have. I mean, I do. Yeah. I mean, because I still to this day I have some that are high carb days, some that are higher fat days. So I don't ever have a high protein, high carb, high fat day. They don't all go together.
Yeah.
But I mean, I will fluctuate them sometimes.
But you can make it work because it's protein.
Yeah.
And then even if it does,
you just have to add a fat with it. I mean,
right.
So you'd have it with just make it.
Because Devotion has like a few grams of carbs, a few grams of fat. Nothing that you're going to count as like a full.
But it
anything.
also has good fiber, so that takes away.
And then like you have to figure out like whether you're doing macros. Like even when I did a form of keto a long time ago, just for fun, because I like to do things I talk on.
Yeah.
I was able to work it in. Mm-hmm. Like if I had to stay under a certain amount of carbs in order to do keto or hit a certain amount of protein or fats. Okay, so then I would make those like protein fat bomb things with like coconut oil and Devotion. Yeah. Mm-hmm. I ate them every night. I ate it was like a ton of coconut oil. I'd melt my brownie batter and then I'd freeze it in the freezer and make candies. And at night,
we have some recipes that are like that for keto. Like
yes,
those cheesecake bombs are amazing.
Yes,
with the cream cheese, just mixing that
inside
with the
out and the inside out ones and the bread. So I would just like make it work for me. And Devotion fit into anything I've ever done, whether it was carb cycling, whether it was a bodybuilding diet, a photo shoot diet. It didn't matter. I made it work because. Honestly, Devotion is what then made the diet bearable.
100%. 100%.
Right? Yes. So then I could stick on anything. So then when people would say to me, like, well, how do you do it? And like, oh my God, but that sounds awful and I could never. And I'm like, but you're not doing it right then because I enjoy it.
There's nothing not to enjoy about Devotion.
Right.
That's what I get. People that are, I'm like, I don't know what some people are expecting. Okay, you're not buying a candy bar.
No.
Okay. But this is an alternative. Okay. This is a healthy swap for that. But I've never once felt deprived.
No.
I mean, like at all. I would rather have a Devotion caramel latte than a caramel macchiato from Starbucks.
From Starbucks any day.
I mean, any given day. And I'm also hitting a goal. I'd rather have, a brownie batter pudding with, and I mix it with the, I didn't do it when I was training, of course not. But now I make the parfait. I have the zero sugar Cool Whip. And it's delicious. I would rather have that than a Jello pudding cup.
The key to making any diet plan work, and I I don't care what you're on.
Yeah.
If you're on keto or you're on Mediterranean, you're on Whole 30, I don't even know what they all are. Whatever you're on, the key to making it a success, because they can all be successful.
Absolutely.
They can all be successful. The key is loving what you're eating and looking forward to it and not torturing yourself. If you come up with a plan,
you have to be able to sustain it.
And you're like, I hate everything on this diet, or I don't even like this food, or this is miserable. If you're complaining, then it's like, well, first of all, this is not sustainable.
Exactly.
Second of all, you're setting yourself up for like a
failure.
Really, crash and
Big
burn.
Failure,
And so every time whether it's macros, whether I come up with a plan that I'm like, oh, this is delicious. Like I look forward to every meal. I work in my latte. I work in my loaves. I work in all the stuff that I love, so that all day long, and then like I'm looking forward to the next meal.
Yeah.
And then at the end of the day, I feel satisfied, and then I can do it again.
Exactly.
And then I can do it again and again and again and again. And then all of a sudden, you've been on it for a month. You feel great. You stuck to your plan. But it's the people who fail, who don't make plans that they truly love, or they're not on diets that they truly love, or they're not eating foods that they truly love.
Chasing the next best thing.
Yeah.
The next whatever keyword.
Whatever your
thing.
Yeah.
So those aren't gonna and that's you can't follow a cookie cutter thing either.
No,
so
you
many people
can't.
just they'll see something, whatever that's the catchphrase. And oh, I'm going to do that.
Well,
I'm going to do that. That doesn't
the social
work.
media posts of like what I eat in a day.
Yeah.
They're kind of silly. Like when people like will show what they eat in a day. Like people have asked me to do that a million times, and I'm like, guys, just because this is what I'm eating in a day doesn't mean it's what you should be eating in a day.
100%.
You might not even like the foods I'm eating in a day, but yet that doesn't mean that you can't find something similar, but it's like also my macros and where I'm at could be different from somebody else and what I'm doing.
And honestly, I mean, it would be boring because we eat the same thing.
Yeah.
Every day.
I eat
so like, what are you expecting something different? Okay, I'm so sorry. This is it.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, that's the other thing. I started getting like I felt like it was, I was like, am I doing it? Like I'm going to keep showing the same bowl of like oat bran look, I'll rotate out some flavors. I rotate out I have been doing that, that yogurt bowl. I got into that. I'll rotate out. Like sometimes I do sliced apples, then I do raspberries, I do blueberries. Like I don't know, I keep things like that, but I keep the similar structure because I find that it then helps me have more control over knowing like what I'm putting into my body. Am I hitting my fiber? Am I hitting like all the little things? And those are things that as we're getting older, like they matter. Yeah. And so, but I also don't like telling people exactly what I'm eating because I'm like, I'll weight train. I do my cardio. You don't know how much I'm moving. So like maybe I'm eating way more than somebody else should eat.
Exactly. Yeah.
Or maybe I'm not eating enough for what somebody else, because if a woman, I'm 5'4", I mean, if there's a woman who's 5'9", 170 pounds,
she's going to require a lot more.
She's going to require more. So don't eat the same bowl that I'm eating. You're probably going to need half a cup more or whatever.
Well, and that depends. I mean, I may have misspoke on that because we don't know how much muscle mass she has either.
Exactly.
So, I mean, there's so many different things that go into figuring your macros.
Like look at social media and what we post. Like even when I post something, it's like when people will say, is it okay if I eat half the amount of yogurt? Is it okay? It's all okay. Like just do what works for you. I'm inspiring you because I've seen now people who are making the yogurt bowl, but like they're making it in the servings that work for them.
Exactly.
You make the bowl that fits into your macros, to your calories, to your goals. Maybe you don't want 155 grams a day. Yeah. Maybe you want, that's okay.
That's the beauty of devotion though, is that, I mean, everybody thinks that, I don't know if they think that we are, recipe geniuses or something like that. I don't know. Because so many questions that we get is that literally, if you have a base recipe or a basic understanding of baking, you can take anything and make it into, I mean, just like the muffin recipe that I just tweaked from the loaf recipe, you just, it's so
a lot
easy.
of experimentation and tweaking and adding. And like anytime I do something, it's just
Yes.
because I was like, ooh. And then sometimes like some people,
that sounds good. Maybe we can
remember
make
when
it
I did
this
the
way.
donuts and then people were like, I don't have coconut flour. Can I do it with almond flour? I'm like, let's find out.
Exactly.
I don't know, but I'll do an experiment for you.
Somebody asked that in the creations page the other day. I said, it's one way to find out.
Right.
Try it.
Try it. Like, I don't like eggs, or I don't want whole eggs. Can I use egg whites? Try it.
Yeah, I mean, you can try it. I mean, you have to just logically, you have to think about that. Okay, a whole egg is going to have more fat, so there's going to be more moisture. So the egg whites, it may be a little dry, so you may need to up your pumpkin or your applesauce or whatever it is that you're using for the moisture. But I mean, you have to use your brain to think about those things. But yeah,
and we don't always have all the answers. And sometimes when somebody says, "Well, mine are really dry," it's like, well.
I don't know what you did either.
And some people's ovens are hotter. Sometimes you leave it in an extra few minutes, and it's like, because, I mean, just like any baked good out there, I mean, doesn't have to be devotion. If you overbake something, it will dry out.
Yeah,
Heat will suck the moisture out of your baked good. So a lot of times it's like, it's not that devotion is dry. It's just that, like, look, you can't, maybe my mom at her house, her oven
you can't just turn it off and leave it in there either. A lot of people will, so the oven turns off and they just leave it in there. No, it's still cooking.
It's still cooking.
It's a lot of times they're still cooking in the pan.
Even after you take it out.
The pan is hot, okay? So you don't want to, a lot of times I'll underbake by a couple of minutes, that way when it comes out, it's still cooking in the pan.
Yes.
That way it retains the moisture. But, oh my gosh, the one lady that, it was on the overnight oats. She said she was going to put almond flour instead of oats. I said, well, then it's not overnight oats, is it?
Overnight almond
flour. I'm like,
but that's gonna change.
It's
like,
just, crazy, But yes, you can try it.
Yeah,
more power to you. Try it. See how it works.
Yeah,
I mean,
and look, I mean, we put, like, just like with the cookbook, like, we tried to show people, like, here are some tips, like, swap this for this if you don't like this, like, and just the way that we found things out is just experimenting. I can't tell you how much devotion I've also had to throw in the garbage because I'll try something and then Greg will be like,
okay, that didn't work.
And I'll try, and like, I'll give it to Greg, and like, say there was a recipe that I said, let me see if I can make it with yogurt. Greg tasted it and he's like, you could taste the yogurt.
Yeah.
Where, like, sometimes when we use pumpkin or like you don't even taste it. So it's like, but yet I'll give you a warning, like, you could make it, but it's going to have that yogurt tang to it.
Or a lot of times, and depending on which one you use, whether it's yogurt or applesauce or pumpkin, it's going to give a different texture.
Yes,
a lot of people say, the difference between, like, we were talking about that with the muffins,
grinding
the whole
oats
or turning it into oat flour. There are different texture differences, but the only way to find out is for you to experiment yourself.
Yes.
Because what I like, you might not like.
Yeah.
So.
And that's why also we did the Devotion 101 videos. Yeah. A lot, like, so Kelley and I just redid them. I had done them a long time ago just for fun. I mean, it's funny. It wasn't like really a character that I remember I was wearing my glasses, my hair was kind of up, and then I was kind of like thinking, I want to, like, educate people. Like, we just need to bring it back to basics. Yes. Like, we're getting very, like, advanced with our devotion.
Well, we've grown so much too. Like, in the last year, so we had so many new faces, and I was like, we were going to repost the original series, and I'm like, okay, we've come way too far. We have to redo this series.
So the Devotion 101 series, if you guys haven't seen them, they're just me being this, like, I mean, she's just like a sexy school teacher. She has her glasses on, and it was just kind of, look, social media, and I've said this from the beginning, should be entertaining, educating, engaging.
Yes.
Like, you want, like, you're going to want to, look, we don't want to all keep seeing the same crap. Social media can get old. I swear I see some of the same stuff, and I'm just like, oh, again.
Exactly.
And so, and the funny thing is somebody said to me, somebody said in the comments, like, oh, we like the real Dana, like, after I did, the videos. And I was like, little known, like, fact, but, like, when I was in high school and people would say, what do you want to be when you grow up? I used to say I want to be on Saturday Night Live. That was my goal. I love Saturday Night Live. And I went out to LA when I was 25. I studied at the Groundlings where the Saturday Night Live actors studied. I took improv classes. I went and watched improv. I was like, oh my God, my dream. I went to Saturday Night Live. We won tickets at, like, this thing, and my brother and I went. I thought doing Saturday Night Live was just the funniest thing. I love characters. I love to talk in funny voices. And so, obviously that's not where my career went, but I always thought, like, it's fun to, like,
it is fun
to, like, be another character. And we weren't doing anything, like, offending anyone, like, you know. And it wasn't like we were dropping F-bombs and being gross and doing these, like, sexual innuendos and, like, it was all just like, hi, like, I'll be your teacher. Like, it was
what
like,
cracks me up is that all of them think that they, it's like they're your BFF. Okay. First off, if you don't know that Dana is funny,
then
you don't know Dana.
Like we're having a good time.
What Dana do you want? We were having a great time.
And like
it
be
was
the real
funny.
Dana.
It was
I'm
fantastic.
Yeah.
It was fantastic.
We filming so first of all, I just told Kelley, I'm like, from now on we gotta keep the bloopers because it was hilarious. First of all, just to let you guys know about our Devotion 101 or any of our series, they're not really scripted. Nothing
is scripted. No, we're sitting back there. I'm behind the camera. Dana's in front of the camera. We're winging it as we go. Okay,
and
we're like,
I'm doing stuff Kelley doesn't know is coming.
I'm gonna think about this. Let me think about this. And I'll be like that. I mean, you have to tell me if you're going to do that because I'm cracking up behind the camera.
I'll do something and Kelley doesn't know I'm going to do it. And then she thinks it's so hilarious. So she's trying to be quiet because I have a boom mic over me. And so she's like, and then we're laughing so hard because she's like, you gotta tell me you're gonna do that.
You make me pee myself.
Oh, because I'm doing like something with the frother and I'm like, wash your frother. And like, and you're like, wash your brother. Like, but it's improv. What I'm doing is straight improv. This is not, we didn't write a script for it. I was just, because I find that that's the most, like, sincere way.
We tried that. We tried the whole scripting. And
the scripting made me uncomfortable. Like, I just was like, okay, maybe we'll have it. We come up with our, like, outline of, like, okay, this one's going to be this recipe. She's going to be doing this. Okay, fine. But then it's like, I just have to be, like, unleashed. Like let me just, like, do my thing and like make some faces, do some things. And so, but like Kelley doesn't know what's coming and she's filming and, you know, and she's like, and she's back there like what was that? Like we had a blast. And you know what?
And then sometimes her character will make me, I'll be like, oh wait, do this. And then that's how we,
because she can see what I'm looking like from that side. So she's like, oh, it'd be really funny if you did this. And so we just feed off of each other. And it was such a riot. And then when we're editing them, you know, we're adding all these like funny little things. And it was just like a great time. So to have like a few like of these like women who are like, who are these people that are so stuffy that like can't just have fun with like some skit comedy? Like
what
it's
does it feel like to live your life offended?
Like offended, like triggered.
Seriously.
And then I'm like, oh, now are we like offending teachers? Like we all know this is not what teachers act like. Like this is not what they look like. They're not, you know, give me a break. Like it was a funny character. Like any other extreme character you see on Saturday Night Live where it's like, okay, when you're watching those skit comedies, like it's Adam Sandler, a Happy Gilmore. People know. Have you ever seen a golf player throw his freaking thing? And it's funny. It's stereotypical funny sketch comedy. And that's all that was supposed to be. And I swear, if you could come up with a way that I offended, and one woman was like, I am offended and repulsed, or like something.
No,
I was
the
like,
repulsed comment was hilarious.
And turned off. And it's
that
like,
was a guy. Was it a guy?
No, it was
somebody.
like a
was
woman.
it a female?
It was a woman, and I went to her page because I'm like,
wasn't she like some kind of?
She's a designer. She's a dresser, and or like a. What is it, like a person?
I would never come to your page.
Oh yeah. So she's the woman was a what's it called when somebody dresses you? They're like your whatever, like not a designer, but like she's so anyway, I went to her page and she's dressing people. And meanwhile, I'm looking at this shit she's putting on people, and I was like,
never.
I'm like, I'm offended and repulsed. Like she's putting some hanky around a woman and like a dress. I'm like, so you're gonna come on my business page, and because I'm doing a funny skit educating people, because not for nothing, I've been doing this for 9 years. Like sometimes we run out of ways to like freaking talk about protein. So I'm like, you're gonna leave that on my business page as another businesswoman, rather than scrolling by. You're gonna say that you're offended and repulsed. First of all,
demonstrate.
First of all, exactly. Scroll. I showed it to my mother and my father. Now, if both of them and all of my aunts and and Greg and anybody else in my life who I'm like, let me just get your eyes on
feel it out.
Maybe Kelley and I were off base. I don't know. And so I give it to
not likely.
My mom was like, I can't send this to enough people. I don't know who else to send it. I've sent it to everyone I know. She's like, this is the funniest thing ever. She shows everybody. I'm like, so if my own mother, who is my biggest critic, is not offended, and my father is laughing, going, this is like Saturday Night Live with the sweaty balls, like with Alec Baldwin. If my dad is laughing that his daughter is doing this funny sketch, nothing offended them. I'm like, why is this woman so offended? Like, why? Like, it's really bothering you? Like, you know? And so it's just like, I don't know. I'm like, what is up people's butts sometimes? Like, right? Like, I'm like, and the other thing is like, I see stuff that I'm like, ugh, like cuts me the wrong way all the time.
Keep scrolling.
And first of all, like if she thought it was so send it to your friend, have a laugh.
Yeah.
I do that all the time. We send things that we're like, what's up with this lady's hair or whatever. And like, we'll send it to each other. We'll have a laugh and we move on with our life. Like, I'm not like going to talk.
But we don't go back and put a comment on it.
I certainly don't.
You know, that's just ridiculous.
I certainly do. I live the golden rule. I tell my children to live the golden rule.
Absolutely.
You won't see me leaving really ugly things. I mean, I just don't. And I feel like, I'm like, you know what? We're business owners. We're trying to do our thing.
Yeah.
That's what she was. And I'm like, why would you do that? Like that. It was so out of line. And then these other people that are so worried, like, oh, what? Oh, so this sexy school teacher kidnapped Dana. This is the new Dana. And now the real Dana is gone. Like, what is this? Miss Nelson is missing? Like, I don't know if you've seen that book, but like the teacher goes missing and then a witch comes and I'm like, get out of here.
Okay, I'm dying. I'm
right?
dying.
But it's just like, I don't know, social media and all the triggering and the triggering. And it's like, I'm triggered. It's like, oh my God, like, get it together.
I mean, how does that feel?
How does it feel to be so offended by everything and then have to comment? And
sad.
But anyway, so get used to it because we're going to do some other funny things.
Yeah, we have a whole equipment. We have a whole studio. You guys have no idea what's going to come.
Oh, like we're so excited. The studio is beautiful and we've got all this great equipment and we're finally making these like gorgeous videos and we're editing and we're doing all this fun stuff and it's very empowering.
Yes, it is.
We're having like fun doing because now we can finally make like content that
and we can move it at our pace.
Yes.
Which has been
I love our pace. Our pace is like, let's do this.
We're full throttle.
Yeah, which I love. I mean, it's great. I mean, when we shoot the videos, we edit the videos. Like, we're to the point where I'm like, hey, are you going to edit this? Because I'll edit this. Like, hurry up, edit it. Like,
I'm doing this one. You do the other one.
Yeah, because
So
it's like
fun,
we want to like get it done. And like, I like to sit back and like, not have this, like not feel so rushed and like look at it and then know that like, okay, we're good. We've got 8 videos that are great. They're great recipe videos and we're good to go. And so Kelley and I both like function that way. And
really working hard to get all that.
Yes.
Done and make it, and just like you said, make it entertaining.
Yeah.
The same stuff just gets, Yeah,
I like to have fun. I like to laugh. I want to
blast.
make people laugh.
Yes.
Life is too short to like not have fun with things, and that's why we are
and devotion is fun.
Devotion's fun.
Okay, devotion is
play with your food.
Fun. We used to say that.
Play with your food.
Wait, we had shirts. Didn't I make you a shirt? Did I make you?
Yes, with the spoon on it or something, and it said like it's okay to play with your.
It's okay to play with your food. Yes.
Yeah.
Go ahead, play with your food. I think that's what it said. Yeah. So yeah, it was fun.
And that's what we want people to do. Like our new cookbook. Is phenomenal, but it's like it might be 300 pages, but really it could be 10,000 pages because every recipe you can literally take in 1,000 directions with different flavors, different fruit additives, different that's why we want you to have fun with it. Like look at those recipes as like here's like a little like formula, but if you want to make swaps, if you want to adjust the macros, like whatever you need to do, like have fun with it. Like our banana bread, like you can make it with like 5 of our flavors.
Yeah.
Like you could.
Yeah, because we did it with
caramel's amazing.
Well, I mean, I just said that
amazing.
this morning. The banana cake started off with angel food cake.
Yep.
Then when we came out with caramel, I was like, oh my God, caramel banana.
Because
cinnamon, so it's like banana Fosters. So that's delicious.
Chocolate
that's delicious
banana.
With this,
mocha banana.
We have the. Oh, we didn't put that in the cookbook.
Which.
That brownie batter banana loaf, that was really good.
I mean, it's endless.
But yeah, I mean, it's incredible.
Yeah.
It's so versatile, the things that you can do with it. I mean, like all the sweet flavors. Now you can't do everything with buttery blend, but every sweet flavor, you can literally make a version of every single recipe that's in that cookbook. If it's a sweet, you can make a sweet, you can do it with a sweet flavor. Yeah. So, I mean, it's incredible, I mean, it's like, don't be afraid to experiment. I think that so many people are afraid to experiment, but
you can't mess it up. And the other thing is go to our Devotion Nutrition Creations page on Facebook.
Yes.
We have a lot of really clever creators on there. Yeah. These are just regular people having fun with food and recipe ideas. And we've seen some wild, where we're like, wow, this person really got creative. Yeah. Join that page. You can just search Devotion Nutrition Creations. Yeah. And I think you just have to take like a little thing because it is like a page where
You have to agree to the group rules. I mean,
To the
that's like
rules. It's a
yeah.
group.
So
Yeah.
so you have. I mean, we have certain niceties and things like that
Yeah.
that you have to go through. So you have to do that. If not, Winnie will deny you and tell you that you didn't agree to him. You have another chance. You can do that. But up at the front, up at the very top, once you're in the group too, if you're looking for something, you're looking for a recipe or you have a flavor and you want something, an idea, there's a search bar. You can actually search within the group. So because there's
if somebody like posted a banana cake or something.
Yeah, exactly. You can search banana cake and then every post that has to do with that. So you may find something, a million ideas. It is really a cool tool, not that many people know about, but there is a search bar up at the top that you can search for things because a lot of times we have one creator that she takes amazing pictures of her food and it always looks
amazing.
So good.
And they come up with great recipes and they'll give you ideas.
Yeah.
Like I often see somebody say like, hey, I have a packet of mocha java. What's your favorite thing to do with it?
Yeah.
And then I'll by the time I get there, I've already
Yeah.
seen like 16 comments and people are like already.
Which is such
is
I know that has
great.
to be because I mean it's a proud mama moment for me, so I know it's a proud mama moment for you when you see all of the people that have so many ideas that are coming into the comments. And these are things that we preached for years.
And now they're doing it.
And now they're doing it. They're getting it. People are finally getting devotion.
Yes.
How many years that was just like I got goosies thinking about it because I mean how many just like our lips would bleed practically trying to explain to people what it did and what the possibilities and the versatility of it were. So for people to finally be getting it is
now it's
so
it's
cool.
rolling like it's rolling like a snowball where I remember in the beginning of devotion, I used to always be like, okay, we're planting seeds.
Yes.
Like you've got to just keep telling people and keep explaining it and like teaching people. And eventually, because I used to call myself, I was like, okay, I'm a pioneer. Like I'm pioneering this like movement to like show people what you can do. And right now it's something that like not a lot of people understand that it's even possible. But eventually there's going to be enough like little like I don't even know what you call them, but like all these other people who are now they're the leaders, and now they're telling people, and they're telling people, and now people are like, I get it, or people are just baking things and giving it to their friends, and they're like, oh, this is good. How'd you do that?
Okay, now that you say that, this is one of the funniest things, and just a testament to devotion too, is because when I was still in Texas when I was competing, and in 2016, I would cook for all because there was like a whole group of us that were competing at the same time. I think I was the only female, but. All the guys, all the birthdays, it never failed. Your birthday or special events were always during prep.
Yeah, always.
So I would make devotion goodies.
Yes.
Okay. So now Caitlin is back and she's going to, and now somebody else has bought the gym, but it's the same group that's going. And Caitlin's on the treadmill and there was somebody next to her and she said, this guy kept looking at me and he looked at me and then finally when he got up, she goes, hey, can you bake like your mom? Because of all the stuff that I used to bring. Yes, he remembers. She's like, yes.
Oh my God, that's
with the
funny.
same stuff. I can make you the exact same stuff that my mom. So people remember. I mean, this has been it's been like 8 years since I competed, but they're still talking about the snacks, the devotion snacks in that gym.
Yes.
So very, very, very cool.
And it's a game changer for people who like don't even understand that it can fit into your lifestyle.
It's not like I know we talked a lot about, was that this episode or was that another episode? But about about the different diets, but not just the different diets, but the different like medical conditions, whether it's weight loss surgery or diabetics. I know it's been life-changing for some diabetics that they can actually have.
Yep.
Because the, what is the ingredient that people talk about with the blood sugar, but it doesn't spike your blood sugar.
Right.
There are different ways to do it. It's amazing for diabetics that they can actually have, especially for the ones with a sweet tooth.
Yeah.
That they can actually have some of those.
Oh, I used to go
sweets. It's amazing.
Yes, I used to be when we would do the bodybuilding shows. I remember there would be the competitors, and their parent. One time, a father walked up, and the competitor said to the dad, no, Dad, that's not for you or whatever. And then I said, and then the father was a diabetic. And I said, actually, because he said like, oh, it's not for me. Like I have diabetes. And I said, no, actually this is for you.
It's great for you.
It's great for you.
Yes.
And so then the dad ended up becoming our customer.
Yeah.
I mean, she did too, but they didn't even realize like, hey, like, no, this is for everyone.
Exactly.
And we get beautiful letters into devotion. I mean, I get handwritten letters, we get emails, we get into, some that have brought me to tears where people have medical conditions where they have a problem with swallowing or they have a problem with being able to tolerate getting in food, and where devotion is the only thing that and it brings me, I get chills, I send it to like my mom, and like, we're both like, oh my God, like my mom,
like the lady that had didn't she have mouth cancer or some type of
we've had people, different people with different cancers,
geriatric patients and stuff like that can't get things down, that are able to enjoy and stomach devotion in place of something that just is disgusting.
Whenever I get those, it's like a different level of like a push for me, because I'm like, whoa, like this is literally changing lives.
Exactly.
Like people will be like, this is the only thing I can ingest, or this is what helped me not, whatever, like these a lot of problems with, I think it was somebody with swallowing, and it was like the only thing that she could swallow. And I was like,
remember that letter.
And she's like, and she even like ended like saying like, your product is literally saving my life. And I was like, whoa, like that's deep, and that's amazing. And so, when we say it's for anybody and everybody, it's like, it really is.
Yeah.
So those are nice. Those are feel good letters, and it keeps us like reminded, like, we're doing a lot of good.
Thank goodness we didn't throw in the towel.
Yeah. Yeah.
All the crying fits were worth it.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. But you know what? It's like going through those tough times.
Yeah.
I mean, they really do make you stronger.
It does. It does. And now you're seeing,
because I feel stronger. I feel like a stronger businesswoman, and also like going through some of those times. Like nowadays, I don't sweat the small things and the mistakes, and I'm kind of like, all right.
We've both grown a lot in that area. Yeah.
And you learn like what to freak out about and what not to.
Yeah.
And like then you also learn like, all right, look, it's not a big deal or whatever. And we used to get offended if, we saw stuff on social media or somebody not posting and they were supposed to be posting with us and all the things. And I'm like, whatever.
Yeah.
Like, do you and whatever. You know what I mean? It's like, we just control what we do.
Exactly.
And who we are.
Yep.
And that's it. And the rest, it's like, we put good stuff out there and good vibes out. And
reap what you sow. So we're just going to keep doing us and keep putting the good vibes out and doing what we do. Yeah.
Yeah. And it's 100%. Funny. Anytime it's like almost like you like get frustrated, because I'm sure people listening, whether you're on a diet and like nothing's working. It's like you could keep getting upset, like the scale's not moving and my body, and then all of a sudden,
boom.
It's like, well, what are your options? You got to give up?
Yeah.
Do you believe in what you're doing? Now, if you don't believe in what you're doing, give up. Give up.
Quit.
But if like we've always known we had something so special.
Yeah.
So it was like, even though I'd be like, this sucks, nobody likes us, I don't know what's going on, how do we get to the people, whatever. It's like, but then I would be like, what are my options?
Yeah.
And do I throw in the towel?
Nope.
Or do I give up? Do I really believe in this? Yes. I mean, look, the only thing that can stop you is if you run out of money.
Yeah.
That's what my parents are like. I mean, look, you can go as long as you can, but if you don't have money, like I once had a restaurant and it kept, because of the storm, the hurricanes, it was in Florida. We lost money so many times because we lost power. We lost all of our food. Insurance wouldn't cover it. They were jerks.
Yeah.
Finally, like my dad's like, well, should we invest more money? And I'm like, Dad, this is a business. This is not a hobby. Like, I don't want to keep investing money into something that is like, we're climbing up a mountain.
Yeah.
But you know what? With devotion, fortunately, we've had loyal people who have loved our product. So even during tough times, we've been able to sell enough devotion, keep things going, battle hard, and then we got through it, and then now we're thriving. And so I just, we never gave up on something that we knew
absolutely
was amazing.
Yes.
Yeah. So that's such, it's great. And it's like now, like we're just in such a place. And I remember, always fantasizing about where we are right now. Fantasizing, like, oh my God. I mean, 9 years of working and fantasizing and just, dreaming that we would have people raving the way they do, writing the letters that they do, acting the way they do, like posting on Creations page like they do. Like it's a really good place, and you and I are patient. Like we're patient with the growth. Like I didn't never expected it to be an overnight success. I expected it to just be quality work.
We kept saying it's gonna stick.
It's gonna stick.
It's gonna stick. Yeah.
One day, like people are gonna see it and they're gonna get it. But you just have to keep holding on. And we've had a lot of people also who believe in us so much that my mom would have never let us give up because she's like, this stuff is too good. It's just too good. Like eventually somebody, my mom kept saying, there's going to be a tipping point. Like there's going to be enough people who try it and talk about it and it's going to, but when you're in it and it's painful and it's whatever, it's like,
it is.
And stuff happens.
It's so personal. It was so personal for so many years before we got to where we are now. It was hard. That was, say, pre-buttery blend launch and even post-buttery blend launch. But,
yeah. One day we'll do an episode about the some backstory about even getting to where we are now and like the whole like timeline of devotion, because I did have business partners in the beginning. I did have a lot of rough years. We had a lot, like there were, in the beginning, there were like 6 owners of devotion.
Yeah.
5 too many or 4 too many.
Yeah.
Like, so it's been an evolution of how it's gotten here, but it's really been like survival of the fittest, and the ones who are left are the ones that were meant to be there from the beginning.
Yes.
It really should have never, but that's the journey that it went, and that's how it went.
It was the learning process. That was,
No, it's been, the whole thing was how it's, in Yiddish, you say,
we wouldn't be here without being there first. So,
it was meant to be.
Absolutely.
It was meant to be. Yeah. So we're in a great spot, and one day we'll do a podcast talking about the whole history. I still want to get Ray up here because he
that'll be fun.
I'd love, or down here. He's up there.
Yeah, he's up.
Yeah. I'm like, where am I? I still don't know where I am. But yeah, we'll get Ray down here and talk about like the old past of devotion.
We'll have to bring in the packaging.
And the packaging and like the whole like beginning, like the beginning when it was just like, real grassroots. Yeah. So when I did the graphics.
Yeah. Oh my God.
Kelly's like, oh no, that's a really rough time.
Let's just draw a clear line.
Oh my God. It wasn't like I even did the graphics. It was like putting the little like logo things and like putting it on pictures and then like using like the letters to like be like, oh, we're open for business. Like it was just really.
Anybody that has the cookbook at the initial when
go to the
in the very back.
There's a picture of Bijou and she's like this, and like that was my graphic to announce our business.
The very first post on social media.
That's how far we've come.
Yes.
We can end the episode there.
There we go.
Go take a look at the back of your cookbook at the post of Bijou, and now you'll understand how we've evolved in 9 years. Like drop the
long
mic.
Way,
drop
baby.
the mic. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So well, I think this was a good one.
That was fun.
I like talking about devotion, obviously.
Yeah.
You too.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you guys for joining in. Cal, thanks for being on the show again today. Fun. And
awesome.
we'll see you guys next time on another episode of Until It's Done, a Devoted podcast.